Greetings and blessings and welcome to the United Hotspot. I know it's match day and the focus should be on obliterating Luton at Kenilworth Road. But listen, this cannot wait. I've got some quick update. PSG have rekindled their interest in Marcus Rashford. Yes, they have put him on the list of replacements for Kylian Mbappe. Welcome to the United Hotspot. My name is Webb. Let's get proper into this talk because it's good news. Let me tell you, I've been in the past weeks here consistently telling you that one of the first major exits I expect at Manchester United in the summer is Marcus Rashford, and it should be for big money to most likely Paris Saint-Germain. Guys, the man above has listened, and guess what? PSG are still interested. Let me just take you first quickly to the quick update that has happened. So, according to the reports that have just come through from David Ornstein. Now, David Ornstein is just close to Fabrizio Romano when it comes to breaking some of these transfer stories. He has come out clearly and said, and I love the way these people just switch these breaking stories. Fabrizio broke the Kylian Mbappe move to Real Madrid, and him talking to Florentino Perez. Now, David Ornstein has taken it over now. It's now him who has broken Marcus Rashford and the interest from PSG. Beautiful stuff, isn't it? Where soon I will add my name into that list. Soon, soon, soon. Anyway, let's know it's not about who broke what. It's about the story. Let's focus on the story. So the latest that has come through from Ornstein is that Paris Saint-Germain still rate Marcus Rashford so highly, despite them attempting to sign him 2 years ago and failing badly. They are saying, we still think this boy suits the profile of a player who can replace Kylian Mbappe. Never mind him not being as clinical, as naturally gifted as him. He's fast, and he's got the speed we need in our team to make our wings exciting. They look at him as a replacement for Mbappe, who was playing mostly flying in from the right, where Rashford enjoys flying in from the left. But either way, they can put him where they want and try to mold him and improve him into the player they want. So they are saying he's top on the list of players they look at to replace Mbappe. And the only disquiet for them is United rushed to tie him down to a contract extension after him having a beautiful last season. They tied him down to a contract extension that ends in 2028 and increased his money. So they think this was a move for Manchester United to try and make it difficult for any club that would be interested in him in the near future, that being now and the transfer window to come and convince him to get out of it, to sign him, but also to price him, because you need a lot of money now to sign Marcus Rashford. And I look at it and I'm thinking, maybe this is one good thing that these guys did. Maybe this is the one good thing that John Mata negotiated well. Maybe this is the one good negotiation. They gave him a good wage, knowing that if PSG came for him, which they believed could happen, they had to pay big money for him. And if they pay big money for you, obviously your wages are always going to be bigger than what you earn. So perhaps they did it for the player and most importantly for the club. So right now, if PSG came for Marcus Rashford, they would have to cough nothing less than 80. But I think even 80 is on the low side. I think it could even go up to 100 or 110 million pounds. And Paris Saint-Germain is the club that can be able to spend such money without any concerns and qualms. So here is the situation. So they are saying their transfer chief, Luis Campos, has been interested in him. He spoke to him 2 years ago, but at that time, financial restrictions, they were paying a lot of money to these big players, the Messis and what have you, the Neymars, the Kylian Mbappe himself. So it was difficult for them to price him, to add him. But they spoke to him and, they said, let's leave it at that. But when United knew this interest, they tied him down to a long contract. So now the PSG are saying if United, them moving for Rashford, who is probably top on their list, is dependent on whether the player wants to leave Manchester United. That's one, because he's a Manchester boy from the academy and all. It could be difficult to just come and think you're going to price him out just like that to take him to France. But France and of course it's 4 hours on a train, I think, from London to Paris. So from Manchester to Paris could be about 6 hours or thereabout, also almost the same. So it's not so far. But Rashford needs, I think, a new space to resurrect his career. He's only 26, but at United, he's almost done. So the plan is for them to see if he's interested in leaving, but also if Manchester United is also willing to listen to reasonable offers, because they think the worry is that him being tied to a contract extension until 2028 was for them to make it so difficult for PSG. But in this situation, I feel like Manchester United should be vending Rashford in the summer. So we should want to sell him more than PSG wants to buy him. Whereas we cannot show this, we cannot. I hope PSG guys don't watch this video, because if they do, I could jinx the whole deal. But we should want more, because I believe it's more important for us to get rid of Rashford than it could be for PSG to sign him. But we can't show them. We've got to be smart. This is how you negotiate. We've got to be smart, so that we do not, we do not look like we are desperate. Then we could undersell ourselves. But I think we can get nothing less than £8 million for Marcus Rashford in the summer. That would be big business for a club that has struggled to vend a single player for so long. In the last summer, guys, if you do recall, the Saudi guys were buying everyone and anyone. They were almost coming for me, probably. If I hadn't retired, they would probably come for me. They were spending money on anyone, but I will tell you what, they never flattered United for a single player. That's how bad our players were. We were never flattered with this Saudi money that they gave to Chelsea. Chelsea took, I think, a significant portion of their infinite budget. I mean, they don't have a budget, do they? They just have money. I don't know where it comes from. Oil just pours money. I think when you dig oil, it just turns into cash for these Saudis, the oil and gas they sell. But they could not flatter a single United player. The only club that flattered us in the last summer, when we were desperate for money, because remember, for the longest time we've been in a sell to buy situation. We don't have money. That's why that tight situation, which Oloki was a blessing in disguise, because if we are not in that tight situation, probably we wouldn't get a chance to see players like Kobe Maino, players like Alejandro Garnacho. But that desperation made us think outside the box, and we looked within, gave these young players opportunities, trusted them, and guess what? They are currently our most important players. Maybe we could have spent, if we had the money, we could have wasted it more on the De Jongs, Frankie De Jongs of this world, on the Anthony lookalikes of this world. So maybe it was a blessing in disguise. But here's the thing. After us failing, the only team that flattered us was West Ham, wanting to sign Scott McTominay and Harry Maguire. But you see, even the offers they made were too disrespectful that we turned them down in our desperation. That's how bad they were. They were giving us 30 million for each player. For Scott, that's 60 million pounds for Scott and Harry Maguire. United looked at it and said, you know what? Okay, for Maguire, 30 we can take. Man, but that time Maguire was really doing bad. We said, okay, we can take the 30 for Maguire. But for Scott McTominay, no. Boy is 26. We see a lot of potential in him. Eric Ten Hag said, no, I'm not selling him. But guess what? Right now, Scotty's goals alone have got us 12 points. So guys, we bash these guys, but give them some credit. Eric Ten Hag, we're all debating, should they keep Fred or Scott? But you see, I don't think Fred would have given us those goals. I can't tell, you wouldn't know. But maybe would have saved us so many goals as well. But who knows? Guys, give credit where it's due. But anyway, right now, we have got an opportunity for a club desperate for a replacement. And PSG move fast, by the way. They move fast. I lucky feel like this whole Belfast bender was a planned thing. Like, I think Kylian Mbappe made a call and called Marcus Rashford, told him, you know what? Let's activate. I think they even spoke in terms, and they have their codes like detectives and all. Let's activate code code disorganize, code diso. So Mbappe calls Rashford, and tells him, code diso, we activate. I'm going to go to the club and tell them I don't want to stay in the summer. I'm not staying at PSG. When that happens, you go to Belfast and disorganize, because Rashford, being a United boy, he did not have. They just gave him a wage of his life after a good contract. Right now, they're bringing in the Hoylands, the Mainos are emerging. He's no longer the star boy of the club. So probably he was also not happy anymore playing for United, but he couldn't say it. The only way he had to communicate was always going to be by his funny face that he has been wearing for the longest time, but also doing that Belfast mess. It wasn't by mistake. It was intended. He was sending a message. So he goes to Belfast, causes that mess, and disorganizes everyone. But then he says, whereas I've done that, let me show PSG that I still have my football. Scores in his first game on return. For £550,000, probably PSG compensated that money. I feel like this was a planned thing. Guys, footballers can do these things Ask yourself why this boy who just a few months ago, was being his PR team was trying to depict him as the future Beckham of the UK, MBE. What have you saving the young kids, kids who he doesn't even want to look at or sign autographs for? What interest did Rashford get in kids? Which interest does Rashford have in kids? Who come and beg him, Rashford, after him having a good game against Tottenham? Kids were outside the Stratford end where the players passed to go out. Rashford, please, Rashford, come sign Marcus Rashford. And he was looking like this, doesn't care. And he's telling me he was mobilizing funds to what? To give kids who have nothing to eat. Where? Nowhere. Artificial stuff. Trust you me, I didn't fall for that. But what I've fallen for is the PSG interest in him. Let him go, guys. Sir Jim, please make it happen. I pray that he scores, assists, and does everything so that PSG are more interested, and more interested, and more interested, and they pay us 100 million. That's enough to sort our summer. Add in the Casemiro money, add in the Anthony, whatever, 10 million or 5 million for Anthony. That's a bad loss. It will be good enough money to to compensate. Add on the money we can get for who else? Who else? Look, Shaw, all these players, we can have a lot of money by the one. We just live like bosses. We just say, who do we want? Kylian Mbappe, come here. Who do we want? Yao Neves, Kujapa. Who do we want? Haaland. No, stay there. We have to beat you. We have to suffer the pain. We don't want you. Who do we want? Subscribe. This wishful thinking also.